Hi there, this is Jake Marriott from JM Tree Doctors. So today I'm going to be conducting a unboxing and review of the Sthil MS500i. It's a saw that I've just recently purchased for my business as a tree surgeon. It's a saw that we do need. We have had previous ones, but unfortunately they're broken down, so I've bought a new one, and due to this I thought it'd be a good idea to do an unboxing in the UK, because a lot of the videos out there are American based, Canadian based, so I decided I'm going to do one in the UK. Okay. Right, so as I said before, this is an unboxing of the Sthil MS500i with a 25-inch bar. I've got on pre-order a 36-inch bar for bigger felling. So we're going to start unboxing of this. In the big brown box that it came in, there was this and the saw blade. We've got the bar protection on it. So I'm going to start off with the big box itself. So I'm going to get into this now. Okay, so in the box, got the instruction manual, not going to need that. We've got our wrenches for tightening up the bar, doing any maintenance work on the saw itself. We've also been given it looks like a Allen key of some description, so I have to look what that does. And then in the box itself, we've just got the saw here, so we can get that out, have a quick look. Also within the box we have I bought it as a package, so I got the 25-inch bar and also the chain. So yeah, there we go. So first looks, it is a big saw, as you can see, quite big. It's extremely powerful, and as an arborist and our company, we need something like this to be able to fell your big trees, to do crowning work, topping of the trees. So it's something we do need to have in our arsenal. So the 500i is a 79.2 cc machine. It's extremely powerful, as you know. It runs at 0 to 100 kilometers an hour at 0.25 seconds. So as you can imagine, it's extremely quick, extremely powerful, and it's a good piece of kit, really. So I actually purchased this from a company originally that let me down, so I did have to change companies. I'm not going to mention names because we're not like that, but yeah, so we're going to give it a go. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to put the bar on, the chain on, and fill it up and see how it runs. Okay. So just to point out, one thing I have noticed is it's a great thing about Sthil, so running other saws, when you're undoing the bolts to be able to change the bar on this, usually these bolts will come off, and the amount of times I've dropped them in undergrowth and grass, anything like that, and it's a real nightmare to find. Where these, they actually do stay attached to the chainsaw casing, which is great for us. As many people are aware, it's an absolute nightmare to be able to find them when we do. Also, there's Doris as well. She keeps making a quick appearance in the video. Clearly she wants to be a YouTube star as well. Doris, hi Doris, gonna be a YouTube star for JM Tree Doctors. Brilliant. Hi mate. Okay, so yeah, back to the saw. So I'm going to be putting on the blade, and I'll show you that in a second. So before I show you the blade being put on the saw, just to mention, obviously I'm going to be going through the unboxing of this bar. There's not a lot for me to go over in the unboxing for this because it's literally just a straight package. Many of you that have owned a chainsaw before, and the chances are are already arborists, will know there's nothing really else in this box other than the chainsaw bar, so I'm not going to go into too many details on that. Okay, so here is the chainsaw bar. Before I put it on, as you can see, it is the 25-inch bar, and as I've said before, I have got the 36 on order as well for even bigger jobs, but I currently run a 20-inch on a Sthil MS 251, which is just my go-between, just bits and pieces if I'm limbing or anything like that. I also have a top handle chainsaw for when I'm doing work up in the canopies and the trees, so I don't really need anything too much bigger. The reason why I decided to also order the 36-inch bar is because obviously when I'm working on the trunk of the tree, sometimes we're dealing with some big oaks, some big fir trees, where the base of the tree is extremely large, and even though a 25-inch bar in the UK is pretty adequate, you won't need much bigger than that. I have got obviously the 36-inch on order just purely for if we do come across jobs where we do need bigger. Generally we won't need anything bigger than the 25-inch bar, and that's the reason why I've got it as standard with this saw. Right, so applying the chain on the Sthil MS 500i. First of all, I'm just going to make sure it fits in the sprocket correctly, which it does. I'm going to apply the bar, get it round the sprocket at the top, which feels nice and lubricated, so it's already come quite lubricated, where sometimes you do find they can be a bit stuck. So make sure it feeds nice into the bar. What we're going to do, get over the sprocket and bar on. Okay, so once we're there, make sure the bar is nice and tight, everything is going to be able to run okay. So I'm quite happy with that. The bar seems to be in a good position. Right, so now we've got the bar and chain attached, what we're going to do is tighten up the chain so there's not as much slack before I completely tighten up the harness. So what I'm going to do is tighten it up and just make sure there's a gap where it's just showing the teeth. So that's about right here. I'd say it's about right just there. That's perfect. Okay, so from doing that, I'm going to be tightening up the locking nuts on here. Make sure they're tight so we don't want it coming on loose and potentially flying back on us. So now that's all tight, what we're going to do is going to put some petrol in it and see how it runs. So right, we're going to be filling up the 500i now. So I've currently got an Oregon fuel tank that runs petrol as well as oil, which is great for when you're on the job filling this up. Just saves time, ease, and you've got it pre-mixed. Okay, so let's fill this bad boy up. Okay. Now we've filled it up, we're going to give it a start up. So hopefully everything runs okay. Make sure the chain brake is on. So what we're going to do with this saw, it's fuel injected. So all we need to do is a little pump from behind, pump it 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should be ready to prime. So now the chain brake's on, what we're going to do is give it a start. Hopefully it starts first time. Look at that. So it is. And what many of you may have just seen, the Sthil 500i doesn't have the selector switch where the you need to put the choke on, turn it off, choke off. So once you've primed it, you pull, and to turn it off you have just got a switch now, so you don't have to fiddle around with that tiny little nozzle going up and down. So that's everything. So obviously you can see the power from this is extremely powerful. It shouldn't be used by anyone that's not trained or qualified in this piece of kit. Myself and all of my team are fully qualified. We've got the relevant qualifications in what we do. So this is a new piece of kit that's going to benefit us in our line of work. If you want to find us on Facebook, that's JM Tree Doctors. We're on Yellow Pages as well, JM Tree Doctors. We're based in Rugby, Warwickshire. We operate in a 25-mile radius, and any work you need done, if you're not an arborist or a tree surgeon and you're just looking for somebody that needs to do some work for yourselves, give us a call.